Um, thank you, Lady Casey. The diplomacy is not for public consumption. It is building relationships and leveraging those relationships to achieve uh, our national objectives or interests. And sometimes it is best to keep those relationships as secret as possible until results are in the open for to share, or we are in a comfortable place to share the results and not even the moves that we take. We should understand that diplomacy is war. Yeah, it is war on another terrain. So when you make your enemy to know all your moves, what will he do? Naturally, he will counter them before they before you succeed. So we are not going to be careless about that. I want to say that every door that ever opened for us, we were there. We were very instrumental. Like that of the Swiss, we were there. We actually engineered that because we had written, contacted the Swiss and the United States government, and that was engineered and it happened. We were contacted, we were there from the beginning. And we saw that that was a great door that was open, and despite the unwilling behavior of La Republique, we stuck in there for 2.5 years until they finally exposed their 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 unreliable characters by withdrawing unilaterally from the talks, from the negotiated settlement, and then when they even decided to replace it with a farce in Canada, we were also informed. But we made our evaluation and saw that it was a bridge to nowhere. It was a waste of our time. And I did not hesitate to inform the Canadian government that this is a bridge to nowhere. This is not serious. It looks like some damage control for what a failure, diplomatic wise, the La Republique has committed in Switzerland. So they are trying to make a fix that will project a certain image that they have lost. So at best, I told them that was what it was. And everybody saw how it ended. And first of all, the Republic were not even in Canada. And today, the Canadian government is investing, struggling to see if they will get them to the table. That should have been the first thing in the first place, which they did not do. We will not waste our time in this liberation struggle. We will not waste resources and time and effort doing something just for the cameras, just for the gallery. No. Any day the interim government is involved in anything, in any move, it means we have carefully calculated that it is for the best interest of our people and the struggle. We're not going to be wasting our time moving up and down and flashing pictures and giving you updates over nothing. It's something that we know will end up with nothing and start deceiving you people, keeping you hopeful over nothing. So that is so in Canada. Then after that, we have been working. One thing is that we don't dismiss a proposal because we want to dismiss one. Whatever proposal that is brought to us, we are going to do an evaluation of that proposal and make a determination whether that meets the minimal the standard for our engagement or not. So we are having those conversations with even still having them even with the Swiss. We have not boycotted, and if on other intermediaries, then we continue to work with our allies, stakeholders around this struggle, and until we are able to secure some breakthrough, some news, worthy event, we are not going to announce. We are not relenting. But above all, democracy flies on the wings of resistance. of the resistance. If we die, if our resistance ends, then why should there be talks? So we are going to zero down as we have done on the ground to make sure that the ground is as hot as possible, to make sure that if the Republic continue to pay lip service and continue to play games and refuse to come to the table as it is right now, we will not win this by forfeiture. We are going to resist till the end. So that is our main focus right now. We are fighting as if there will be no negotiation. But if negotiation comes, we shall talk as if we have stopped fighting. But we will never stop
Hmm.
until victory comes.
That's amazing there. Mr. President, I'm still with you on your approach and attitude in diplomacy during this critical time, leaning entirely on the United States of America. Some have argued that considering what diplomacy is about, some say that there are no permanent friends, but you can have a permanent interest. Don't you think or consider that if you would have to consider, don't you think, or maybe rephrasing or reforming or redirecting your approach, wouldn't you want to consider neutrality instead of just choosing one side entirely?
You know, you say diplomacy is there are no permanent friends. I agree. For now, this is our friend. Let us hope that we'll have another reason one day to make a new friend. Let us hope that we'll have strong reasons why our friend today will become our enemy tomorrow. But that is speculative. For now, reality is there for everyone to see, unless we don't want to see. Yes, we are with America. Can you imagine if we were going to if we were in the United Nations in the month of March, 1 month after a few weeks after Ukraine was attacked by Russia, the nations voted, the nations of the world voted in the United Nations to condemn the invasion of Ukraine by Russia. I mean, to condemn. La République they were not even present. They ran away from the hall. Can you imagine that if Ambazonia was in the United Nations? Is that those who are saying that neutrality? Did you expect us to also run away from the hall? I mean, to abstain from condemning the annexation of Ukraine by Russia? Then why should we condemn the annexation of La République, of Ambazonia by La République? What kind of hypocrisy is that? How can you afford to be neutral? If somebody is to be neutral, it's not an Ambazonian. La, Repo- La République made sure that 2 months after Russia attacked Ukraine, that was in April, Russia invaded Ukraine in the month of February 2022. Just 2 months after, La République dispatched their defense minister, Betty Asomo, to Moscow to renew their military pact that they had signed in 2016, now to include the supply of weapons and all kinds of strategic military collaboration. In the middle of the outbreak of the war, do you expect um, Ambazonia, if a member of the United Nations, to say that will be our position? There have been 3 votes in the United Nations on this issue. La République abstained from all of them. But if it's just abstinence, what do you call neutrality? That's no neutrality. They have chosen a side. They refused to vote to condemn the Russians, but they went to Russia 2 months after to renew military pact and buy more weapons. So what's the neutrality? Is it neutrality just by voting? What's the body language? So all these people who are pretending over calling it neutrality, it's no neutrality. They have chosen a side. In a bipolar world, there's no neutrality. You either belong here or the other. That's it. You have to make a choice. It is part of a political destiny of a nation to make a choice. Where is the non-alignment today? Where is it? Think about India and South Africa and the rest. You now see what a coded name for neutrality is actually choosing the other side. Is working with the other side opposite of your traditional allies. That's what you can. That's what is usually packaged as neutrality. It's not. Where's the non-aligned movement? Tell me anyone who was in the non-aligned, including Brazil. Where is their position today? It's Russia. We are not going to take that kind of hypocritical neutrality. We have chosen a side, and that's where we stand. If we have any reason for the best interest of Amazonia, that our friends today should not be our friends, then it will be then we will not be speculative on this. The attitude of these people towards our struggle, our people, our suffering, our structures demands that one good turn deserves another. If we were in the United Nations, we would have voted all the 3 times. The second time they voted was to remove Russia from the United Nations Human Rights Council, where Cameroon surprisingly is still one of the 47 countries. I don't know. And the Cameroon was there. How did you expect Cameroon to vote to remove Russia? They still abstained, but they are with Russia. They are with Russia. I blame every death we have suffered, every every new military hardware we have that has entered La Republique, the hands of La Republique, to fight us since 2022, since after that agreement was signed. I blame it on Russia because the Wagner is not just a fighting force. They traffic weapons to the people, to the allies. They help to enforce the Russian defense pacts wherever they are signed. So they are already there. If they are not there by a huge number of personnel, their weapons are already in the hands of La Republic, killing the people of Amazonia. And somebody is telling me of some kind of neutrality against them. What is their attitude towards us? What have they done that has been to help us? At a time that America is withdrawing its support, its military support, and considering sanctions and mounting pressure, they would have done the same. Don't put me any history nonsense here. Right now, right here, what are they doing? They have stood on the side of the oppressor. They are enabling the enemy to get what it needs to annihilate us. They are using their taxpayers' money, putting in the hands of the Republic, not even taxpayers' money, their technology, putting in the hands of the Republic because they are desperate. Because even the French cannot support them openly again. Because the best thing to do is to respond to the people because they are not in a position to respond to the truth, to the people, to the truth, to meet Amazonia on the table. They are bent on doing things. Remember, this is the West that has said this problem has to be solved through a mediated settlement. Now they said no, they cannot continue to enjoy all the military support and the help to crush us. That will be working. You reject if you reject their advice, you cannot get their help to do the opposite. So where do they have to lean? They have to lean on the market. They have to go to the market. The market is China. The market is Russia. That's where they are going to buy. They are either going to buy money in China or they're going to buy weapons in China or buy weapons in Russia. They are not our friends. There's very little that really connects us with these people. But for these regimes that are struggling to get whatever they can get to continue their anti-democratic traditions and crush every rebellion around them and maintain themselves in power. In the case of Amazonia, to crush us as a people and keep us as their bounty to trade with their new friends.